In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate but equally important groups. The police, who investigate crime, and the district attorneys, who prosecute the offenders. David Bodney is neither of these. But here is his story.
The Torch of Liberty Award was created to shine the spotlight on individuals in communities around the country where ADL has a presence, who embody the mission of ADL to secure justice, fair and equal treatment for all under the law. And nobody could embody that mission more than David Bodney.
Born in Kansas City, Missouri, David went through a public education and community college in his hometown before heading off to Yale College.
I went to Yale in the midst of the Watergate crisis, and I studied history and political science. I took a year of constitutional law from Professor Charles L. Black at the Yale Law School, who introduced me to Louis Armstrong.
So I met David back in 1974. We were at a reception at Yale College. It was really funny because at this reception they had pass-around trays with hors d'oeuvres, they had drinks. We didn't know each other. Both of us reached for this hors d'oeuvre tray, which had a whole assortment of different nice tidbits, and we both happened to reach for a little cherry tomato. Both of us, I guess, wanting to be on our best manners, decided to take a small bite out of the tomato rather than plop the whole thing in our mouth. And in the process of taking that half bite, the whole thing exploded. Both of us happened to be wearing white shirts. The ironic thing about it is I think both of us learned a lesson, and that is you really can't go halfway. You've got to take the deep dive. You really have to go for it in life. And that, I think, really symbolizes what David Bodney's about. He takes on commitments. He will engage in endeavors, whether on the fun side or the serious side. But regardless of the context, he gives it 100%.
David developed a love for music at an early age. In fact, the first concert he ever attended made a permanent impression on him.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
I love music, and it is the universal language. It brings joy to our hearts, and I love all different kinds of music. My first concert was September 17, 1964. I saw the Beatles in Kansas City. The owner of the then Kansas City Athletics, Charles O. Finley, brought the Beatles for an unscheduled appearance, that is, it wasn't on their '64 summer itinerary, to Kansas City. It set a very high bar. It's been tough to attend other concerts without having the Beatles as a rather high marker.
The bar was set pretty high musically at a very young age for David, but the heights he would attain as a lawyer would have him soaring like a legal eagle.
David started his career at Brown and Bain in 1979 and immediately gravitated towards First Amendment issues. He argued a case in the Arizona Supreme Court within a year or two of the time that he joined us. I would say that the hallmark of his career is fighting for open government.
One can think of no better means of providing the public the assurance of justice than to let them see it.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so cross your heart?
Well, he just seems to be somebody that, as shown by this award that he's getting, doesn't really have a problem making serious commitments to serious causes. I'm sure he has a hard time saying no than saying yes. And he loved the idea, and I think probably Paul had run it by him a little bit, and he said, yes, I think it would be a wonderful thing for the state and for the people of Arizona to have the first Bill of Rights monument in America here. Tell me what I can do to help, sign me up, and you can start telling people that I'm part of your committee.
They call you Lady Luck.
The David that you see in the office is the David that you see outside the office too, with the exception of the clothing. He goes from extreme. A lot of people know him for the way he ties his tie. He'll do it 3 or 4 times in a row before it's perfect. And he's always exceptionally dressed until he walks in through the doors at home. It's either coat and tie or really grungy shorts and t-shirt that probably predate our marriage.
Trying to sum up David in 3 words was the toughest assignment I had for this.
Oh, I could come up with 103 words to describe him.
A mimic par excellence.
Early one morning, the sun was shining.
Early one morning, the sun was shining.
Goofiness.
Fun.
Human.
Well, he's got a great ear.
I mean, he's a fan.
He's brilliant.
Honesty is huge.
Eclectic.
Funny.
Humble.
Amazing.
Passionate.
And he's also fun to hang around with if you can, get past some of the bad puns.
David made 2 appearances at the United States Supreme Court in 2012 and came back with 2 favorable verdicts. Standing against discrimination and the unfair treatment of any individual is a pillar of the Anti-Defamation League. And David personified that with his stance against Senate Bill 1070 and Proposition 200.
David, it is such a pleasure to congratulate you and wish you mazel tov for the Torch of Liberty Award this year. I want you to know that when I grow up, I want to be David Bodney.
The Anti-Defamation League proudly bestows the Jerry J. Wysotsky Torch of Liberty Award upon David Bodney. Ladies and gentlemen, David Bodney.